Ik eich satini stakat Johan. Gonalchish wuch in Lingít yahatangi stut hultuo. Stuka hateti konachaya. Good to see you, everybody, and thank you for studying Lingít together. I'm grateful for it. Kejin yagi aya ya yagi at kadachit yana disi. Jinkat kagushuk yawahi yadis. It's Friday, May 19th. The name for this month is At Kadechit Yana Disi. This means the month before animals give birth. Go ahead and unmute your mics and repeat this after me. In these classes, you can just all say it together. I can hear everybody. You don't have to take turns. So go ahead and repeat after me. At Kadechit Yana Disi. And then go ahead and say the part that I told you. This is Friday today. Repeat this line after me. Kejin yagi aya ya yagi.
Kejin yagi aya ya yagi.
At kadechit yana disi.
At ganachet yana disi.
Jin kat kagushuk yawahi yadis.
Jinkat kagushuk yawahi yadis.
It's good to hear your voices. And welcome back to class. So today we'll continue with our conversation practice, just basic greetings, and then review some of our vocabulary words just to keep them fresh in our mind. I've pulled together a couple resources on weather as well as animals, and they'll mostly be reading practices for us. So just focusing on reading and our pronunciation. And then we'll have a discussion at the end of class and close for the day. So for conversation practice today, same as last week. Normally I prompt you with this phrase at the top, and then I ask you to select an answer below for a response. Today, I would like we'll switch roles so you all can just unmute your mics and read this phrase to me and I'll answer. So when you're ready, go ahead. Johanse yek satini. Go ahead. And let's practice this one again. Repeat after me. Tsuhaka kewa'a. And next one, go ahead, this line at the top. Achtuwusiku. Now I'll ask you, and you all can choose a response and say it when you're ready. Yuhan ko'a. Okay. Are there any questions on those phrases? We've been reviewing them regularly, but one thing I will note is that this is what if you're asking one person, you say what. Since I was addressing a group of people, I used a different word, yuhan, and I wrote it here. Let me show you. So I put a bracket after this phrase for singular, And then another one in this phrase for the plural equivalent. So if you're talking to one person, you might say wa'etsa. If I was talking to multiple people the way I was, I say you hansa for you all, you han. Okay, reviewing some of our vocabulary words. Let me find these in our book and with the English translation. Actually, let's just go ahead. What we'll do is I'll read the Lingít and focus on the image and how to pronounce it. Repeat it after me, and we'll go through them. If anyone has a question on which one, if you're unsure of the English meaning, just go ahead and raise your hand. This is review, but if there's any newcomers in class, just let me know. Okay, Yenge Iwane, are y'all ready? Okay, first one, repeat after me. Zaid.
Jade.
Sa. Unquayi. Eat. Inchayi. Eek. Oh, you know what? I need to change my audio setting. Okay, here we go. Okay, one more time. Tseek. Date. Tsa. Okay. Okay. One more time. Repeat after me. Kinchayi. Okay. I'm proud of you guys. You remembered them. Were there any questions on those? All right, cool. So I want to be able to talk about the weather, and we'll use weather cards that Rene put together. And let me share the link with you so that you can continue to practice it in your off time. I'll put this in the chat, and if you don't have a computer in front of you, just to give you a quick introduction where to find this resource, it looks like this. And the way you can find it is if you go to clinkitlanguage.com. This is the site that Rene puts together. Under the resources tab, you can click beginning materials and scroll down. There's a plethora of good beginning materials here. And if you go just past Lingít Reinigsa, the phrasebook, and Lingít Reinigach, which are the audio phrases, there's weather cards. So this is how you can find it later on. And let's practice weather. So I'm going to zoom in. So if you want to ask somebody how is the weather, you say, repeat this after me. Wasa kuwati. This underlined KU can generally mean referring to an area or space or people in general. So kuwati, how is the weather? How is the atmosphere, the space around us? So when you hear this phrase, wasa kuwati, you should be thinking about the weather. kind of be thinking, okay, what are weather words I know? How can I describe it today? So one more time, repeat it after me. Wasa kuwati.
Wasa kawati.
If the weather is fine, you say, repeat after me, kuwake.
Kuwake.
So now I'll ask you, and you can respond kuwake. Wasa kuwati.
Kuwake.
Okay.
Okay. Other options, if it's sunny and you want to talk about it, you can say this, repeat after me, Odigan.
Odigan.
If it's hot out, you say kuwata.
Kuwata.
Cloudy, kuhlegoots.
Kuhlegoots.
Okay, I'm hearing that pinched S, that's really good. If it's cold, you would say kusiat.
Kusiat.
Snowing, dleta kusitan.
Dleta kusitan.
Okay.
Dleta kusitan.
If it's raining, siota kusitan.
Siuda kusitan.
Siuda kusitan.
Foggy, kudigwets.
Kudigwets.
Ayoditi.
Ayoditi.
If it's really coming down, like snowing really, really hard, you would say ayakawadan.
Ayakawadan.
And then this next word, kasirja, is a fine mist. You know that really calming, fine, misty rain that you experience in Juneau and Southeast? Like it doesn't really make a sound. It's just really like coming down, but misty.
Dry rain.
Yeah. Yeah, that one is, repeat after me, kasirja.
Kasirja.
And then this next phrase just means it's precipitating that. It's coming out. So repeat just this part after me. Dak wusi tan.
Kusitan.
And the whole phrase. Kasirja dak wusi tan.
Kasirja kusitan. Kasirja kusitan.
Okay. Any questions so far? Yeah, we'll do a few more and then we'll practice. Hail is, repeat after me, just this word, kadas. And the whole phrase, kadas dakusi tan. If it's mixed rain and snow or sleeting, that's, repeat this word after me, kakshahin. And the whole phrase, kakshahin dakusi tan. And let's do these two and then we'll practice our time references. So rain is, repeat after me, siu. And then this word is for it to be drizzling. So this one, repeat after me, dak akausechit. And the whole phrase, Siodak akausechit.
Siodak akasichit.
I haven't seen this one yet, but it's interesting. So this word dlate is snow. Repeat this after me. Dlate.
Late.
This next word is children. Repeat after me. Yatke.
Yatche.
So this can be if you have small particles of something. Sometimes they'll refer to it as yatke. So repeat this after me. Dlate yatke.
Yacht.
And then this phrase for it to be precipitating. Dakusitan.
Dakusitan.
The whole phrase. Dlate yatke dakusitan.
Yacht. Dakusitan.
Child.
So these are blank for people to print out and fill out, and I can download it and put it in a format that I can type on the screen. Yidat is right now, so repeat this. Yidat.
Yidat.
And then Yagi is today, so repeat this after me. Yagi.
Yagi.
Ayaki.
Tomorrow Seqanin.
Sekanen.
And then this is like perhaps, repeat after me. Shakde.
Shakde.
Okay, so if I want to talk about the weather, especially if I'm talking with people in a different town from me, I'll often include, let's make this smaller. I'll often include a town that I'm in just so I know, like, people know where I am. So let me do a quick table here. And we'll do a couple examples. So we have Lingít and English, and let's do larger font and maybe a different font. So let's see. Does anyone remember how to ask how is the weather?
Wasa kuyati.
Okay, kunakeke. Wasakuati. And then let's do a dialogue. Table, insert column. I'm just gonna put a space for person A and B. A, B. And so person, how is the weather? You could say, I am in blank. The weather is blank. So this would be there in two places. So you would say for the place you're at, Yichatiati. So let's do this line. I am in blank. This is where you put your town name. In Lingít, you put the town name first. So there's different order between English and Lingít. And then the part where you're saying I'm at or in, I'm located in this place, this is going to be the pinched X, and you're going to add it at the end of the place name. So it's arranged differently from English in terms of how you describe where you're at. Oh, and then I misspelled this. One sec. Okay. Okay, so if I'm in Juneau, I would say this. Repeat after me. Juneau yechatiati.
Juno.
And then how is the weather in Juneau today? Wasakuati Juneau. Is anyone in Juneau? No one's in Juneau? Okay. Gusuyo.
Shitka.
Oh, Shitka. Okay.
Shitka ye khatiati.
Okay.
Kuchligus.
Kushikus. Okay. So this is where we would put our weather. And so for it to be cloudy, we're going to use this term, kushikus. And let me put it in our template. Kushikus. And then if you want, you can also refer to the time. So kushikus, you could say today or right now if the weather is changing often. So scrolling down to our options here, if it's cloudy today, you could say 야여기. So this is something to make it more conversational that I would add to the weather. 야여기. As you begin to express yourself in Lingít and have conversations, it's nice to be able to add phrases like this. So we took the weather is cloudy, and then we also added today. And it just makes it sound a little bit more natural, adds a few more words to your repertoire. And for me personally, when I do that, it adds to my confidence. So let's repeat after me this phrase. Kushligus ya yagi.
Kuchligus.
Yaki.
And I'm gonna do an underline so that we see the weather is blank today. Actually, I'm not gonna underline it because it makes my underline K disappear. Okay. So, does anybody else? We have some. I saw somebody get up. It looked like in the hot tooch Lachish room. Are you all in Juneau? You unmuting your mic. Okay. Oh. Oh, there you go.
No, I might know how to work technology.
That's okay. That's okay.
Where in Juneau?
Oh, nice. How was the weather today in Juneau?
Goosely goose.
Oh, okay. Kushlikus. Okay, gunafchish. So you let's practice one for Juno as a group. Everybody repeat after me. Juno yati.
Juno. Yay. Yati.
Or if you want to use, depending on where you are, if you're in downtown Juneau, you could say, repeat after me. Zantikihini yati.
Zantakahini. Yay. Yati.
Or if you're at that little lake in Ak area, repeat after me. Yati.
Au ye khatiati.
Yati.
And then and then the weather. Koshligus yayagi.
Kulikus. Ya.
Yaki.
Does anyone want to try being person B if I ask you the weather?
Sure.
Okay. Wasakuati.
Gustavus. Yay. Hat. Yati. Kuligus. Ya. Yaki.
Okay. Gonna choose. Anybody else? Michelle Wasakuati.
White horse ye khatiati. Audigan ya yaki.
Okay. So on White Horse, it's sunny today. Kanachiki. Anyone else want to try? We can do one as a group. So, oh, kauti al-katla, wasa kuwati.
Harmon Valley, ye yati, digan, ya yaki,
Okay.
ka, wasa duasak, smoky,
Oh,
Lingít ye namsa.
oh, okay. Tlashkiten khasakhoa kakwadatu. I don't really know how to say smoky in Tlingit. Let's see if we can find it. I'll read it. So let's see. Smoky. Smoke. Tsiq is smoke. Let me find it in the dictionary. Tsiq. Be down here. Oh, here it is. Smoke is tsiq. And I need to think about how to say it's smoky. Tsiq. I'll write that in my questions. It is smoky. I hope that smoke clears up soon. Okay, are there any questions on whether, difference between yucky and yagi? Okay, good question. So there's a question in the chat that says, what's the difference between yucky and yagi? And we had a guest speaker in one of our classes, another class, named Qanaute Marsha Hotch, and she shared that where she grew up, she learned to say yucky for day, and then when she moved somewhere else, the elders would say yagi. So it can be a dialect difference and then also a difference between speakers. But some of the variations for yucky, let's look it up in the dictionary. For day, let me find the entry for yucky. So for example, when we refer to days of the week in Lingit, we count them. So Tuesday is the second day, so it's day yucky. And then variations you could hear and use are, instead of yucky, you could also say yagi or yagi. And I've heard this one by a speaker in Teslin, yagi. Yagi, I've heard, I couldn't tell you like which area, but I hear this one a lot, yagi, and then yucky. So they're just variations of the same word. Good question. That's a good question. Are there any more questions about anything? Okay, we're gonna move on to a reading practice exercise. So the last couple classes we focused on plants and we came up with language for picking berries. And in that case, we were looking up words in the dictionary and the phrase book and pulling from different resources in order to put words together to express ourselves. With animals, we're gonna practice a different way of learning language. We're gonna focus on reading and work on our pronunciation. So there's all different elements of language learning, and today we're gonna focus on reading. So there are some really good books put together. They're proofread and edited by Vesta Dominics. They're called Little Readers. And the one we're going to look at today is called At Gutu'adi, and it means animals. And they're all in Lingit, but there's a picture and then just several lines in Lingit. We won't be seeing English when we read them. And so the way we'll engage with this the first time through is just to read the sentences. So I'll read it, you can repeat after me, and we'll just practice our reading sounding out. And the second time going through, if we have time, we'll pick out words that we think we know. It doesn't have to be a translation of the whole phrase, but just picking out a word here and a word there if you know it. That'll be our second word time through, and then we'll check our answers. So I'm gonna do a new share of this book, and yeah, that looks like a good size. So this first phrase for animals, repeat after me. Atkutu adi.
Adi.
Ah. And let me scroll down. I need to zoom out because I'm too. Okay. Oh, written by Esther Shea and proofread by Vesta Dominics. Okay. So this first phrase, repeat after me. At kautliyiji at. Okay. And I'm going to zoom out so you can see the picture while we read. Okay. The first line, repeat after me. Gauch aya. Gauch hin chashuk yenatich. I'm going to zoom in a little. And then dasa acha. Gat acha. Okay. Awakaya. Kok geye hasnatich. Kok ye hasnatich. Dasa has acha. Seid has acha. Kok aya. As ye geye hasnatich. As ye hasnatich. Dasa has acha. Chat has acha. Oh, sorry. I did a high tone A here, and that means something else. So let's do this one again. Chat has acha. Kindachunate aya. Hin yik geye natich. Hin yik ye natich. Dasa acha. Eit kagat acha. Okay. will, let's see, do we want to do it? Okay, repeat this after me. At gutu adi.
At
Adi.
Hoots aya.
Hoots aya.
Aya.
Dasa acha.
Da sa acha.
Chad katleok acha.
Hat.
Aha.
Acha. Kan
Huakan aya.
aya.
Dasa acha.
Da
Sa.
sa
Aha.
Kayani acha.
kayani
Yan.
acha.
Disk aya.
Zisk aya.
Aya.
Dasa acha.
Da.
Sa
Aha.
acha.
Kayani acha.
Kayani.
Yani. Aha.
Acha.
Tsikyedi aya.
Zikye.
Aya.
Aya.
Dasa acha.
Da sa
Aha.
acha.
Keshish luni acha.
Ke shish shuni.
Ni
Aha.
acha.
Tlakach aya.
Tlakachaya.
Ya.
Aya.
Guk sayena teach.
Guk sayanati.
Ayena teach.
Askutuk yena teach.
Askutu.
Yena
Teach.
teach.
Dasa acha.
Da.
Das.
Sa
Aha.
acha.
At luni acha.
Atlun.
Ni
Aha.
acha.
Janu aya.
Janu.
Janu aya.
Aya.
Guk sayena teach.
Guk sayanati.
Ayena
Teach.
teach.
Chaya dag yena teach.
Shaya.
Sayanati.
Yena teach.
Dasa acha.
Da
Sa.
sa acha.
Surq acha.
Su.
Acha.
Tsiek aya.
Si.
Aya. Aya.
Dasa acha.
Dasa.
Aha.
Chat acha.
Sat.
Aha.
Okay, those are our answers. Oh, look. Okay, I'm gonna go to the top. And were there any limits? We can go page by page. And let me see. Go
Can you
ahead.
go back to the title for this part? Because it hit me after a while what it meant. So
Oh, yeah.
is that like flying things?
Yeah. Oh, how did you realize that?
Because I've seen it before. It's the code the I don't know.
Yeah. So, this is really good. I'm gonna do another box here where I'll type the verb root and we'll talk about, oh, it won't let me, no. Okay. So when you're looking up words and this is a multi-level class, so everyone's at different phases of picking words apart and finding meaning in them. But if we start to get to the place where you're identifying verbs, which is what this word is, at kautli, and then it's turned into a noun, so as this ch turns to j. Anyway, we can look up this word to see what it means. So at kautli is the word I'm gonna look up. And to do that, I'll do a quick share in the dictionary. And let's open up our verb database. And I'm gonna look for yeech or fly. Oops. Fly, that's keen. That's a different verb from what we want. Look in the dictionary. Yeet. Coldly. Yeech. So when you're looking through the dictionary, after an entry, you can see the breakdown. So you see this phrase, "Wushkat kautli ji'a," and that means airplane, the one that people fly on together. And then you can see a breakdown. So all these plus signs and hyphens separate each component. And the verb root yeech means to fly. I'm surprised it's not in the database. I'm just gonna find it really quick. It's gotta be in here. Yeech. It's not in here. That's okay. We'll look at it in the dictionary. So that's where we're starting to see yeech, and let's see if we can find then one that's closer to the word we're looking at, which is at kautli yeech. This is clean. Okay, now we see for a singular animal or person to fly, you use clean. If there are multiple birds flying, then you actually use a different verb, yeech. And so let's keep looking and see if we can find the entry for yeech. Here it is. And so we're looking at yeech. This is for multiple subjects to fly. And we see example sentences. The geese are flying northward, or the ravens are flying across the valley. So in both of these forms, you get a short yitch instead of the one we're saying ye, but that you'll see that variation depending on who's flying and when they flew. And then if you want to say they flew, you would say hus kaudli yeech, and that's pretty close to what we're looking at. So that's really good if you can start to identify phrases that you've seen like that and recognize them. You will see that it'll change a little bit and when you turn it into a noun, but you can still connect it to that meaning. So looking back at our page, at kautli yeech, at the things that this means, the things that fly around. The things that fly around or fly. That would be a loose interpretation. So what are we talking about anyway? What kind of animals?
Ducks and birds.
Yeah, flying animals. Yeah, birds. Okay. Okay, so our first one. Any words we recognize from here?
Scout, duck.
Uh-huh. Duck. What else? You guys can just unmute your mics and shout them out. You can put them in the chat, whatever you're comfortable with.
Well, so it took me a while. I was trying to figure out natich. Is that like a plural of yati?
This does come, and go ahead.
I was just wondering if it relates to yati.
It does, yeah. So natich is a different conjugation of the same verb yati. And so I'll show you guys what that looks like. And what does yati mean in English?
Be, to be.
Yeah, to be. And we can change our, as we add more words in our English, we can change what this mean. It might mean they are, but for now we're saying, oh yeah, this has to do with to be. So now we'll look in our resources. I should just do my whole desktop. Yeah, here we go. This is what I'm gonna do to make it easier. And I'll make them large. One moment, please. 1 second. Okay. So if we look at yati, and just to show you where you can find it, this is the online verb database, and we're gonna look under this form yati to mean to be. So ye yati, let me find it, to be a certain way. Natich, where's natich? Oh, natich, here it is. So this is the form we're seeing it in, ye has natich. They're that way every time. So when you change yeti to natich, you're adding the component that it's habitual, that it happens that way every time. Whereas if you just say ye has yeti, you're saying they are that way, but you're not specifying that they are that way every time. So scrolling up to a different conjugation, ye has yeti is they're that way. And then ye has natich, they're that way every time. So it just adds meaning. And let's see, going back to our deal. So I would maybe, how would we interpret this in English? Maybe they're that way.
It has something to do with them being at the river, or they live at the river.
Yeah. Figure out where to put these boxes. In the river, yeah. And then this word kashuk, hin kashuk. Let's just add the words we know. So river. What did I do? Sorry guys. Okay. Let me just, okay, river. And then something, something, something. They're that way every time. So this initial run through is not going to be a perfect translation every time, but it's just a starting place for us. We're just identifying words we know. Okay, so I'll rearrange these for our next class so they're a little better order. Okay. What else? Anything else we recognize in this page? Dasa acha or God acha?
Aya, that would be like this is a duck kind of thing in the first line.
Yeah, this is a duck. This is a duck. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna leave this where, oh here, this is a duck. Okay.
And dasa acha, is that like what are they eating, or what is he eating?
Yeah. What is he eating? What is it eating? And then I'll check my spelling. I'll check my interpretation in the resources. So in my mind, I'm like, that means he's eating right now, or does it mean what does he eat regularly? This is where I would go online and check it in the verb database. And I could go under cha for eat, or you could just type in eat. And here's our verb root cha. Dasa acha, it comes from cha. And go here, click eat it, and scroll down. And so it could be either one. Acha could be what does it eat or what is it eating. So either one is good. What is it eating or what does it eat? And then this next one, we might not know what goth is, but what can we interpret from this? If the question is, what is it eating? And then they say, goth, acha.
Well,
What?
I'm looking at the picture. Is gash mussels or clams?
Let's put, so yeah, this is how I would do clams, question mark. He eats clams, right? It is eating clams. And then I put the question mark here for myself, for my notes, that I need to look this up. I'm not sure. And so this is where I would look it up. So let's look in our dictionary. And God, look at you, clam. It's clam. So that's where you can take you're observing the picture, you're drawing conclusions, and then you can check your answer in the resource. God is clam. He's eating clams. How is this exercise for you guys as a learning resource? Thumbs up? You like it? Okay. Then we'll continue next week. Next week is already our last class. I can't believe it, but we will resume again probably in the fall. But so we'll do more review. We'll continue with this reader, focus on our pronunciation and beginning translation. Any questions or comments before we go? Okay. Well, have a good rest of your Friday, and I'll see you next week. Same time, same Zoom link. Sorry I didn't share the recordings yet, the class recordings. I know those were requested, and I'll try to get them sent out today.
Buenas noches. Sigue Pasapin.
Buenas noches.
Good night.
Cheese.
Akwasti.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, no. That's not what I meant.
See ya again.